time. I don't know when he is in Vegas for sure. And he flies on Wednesday, whether he's in Minneapolis already or not, I don't know. Me too.
Well, we got enough for,
Yeah, we got
one,
one,
so
so we're on time.
we're okay.
You should, get those copies, just kind of like updating. When you do it, it's just our. On the last one. So this is the key one.
Did you get that analysis out of your? Mr. Mayor.
What?
Copy of the analysis, market analysis that I printed for you. Did you get it out of your mailbox?
No,
I got
but
five,
I
Tom's like, I got two, she
One
got
that
three.
Jason had.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're joking.
Yeah, but I did ask, I basically used it as a reference.
We're on
how
vacation,
about-
Nova was working for no reason.
Did you want that for this meeting?
No.
Then I would call the cops like every day.
It's vast, it's just full of good information, but. Knowing that we had credible company doing it, when was that recently? What was that, Joe?
When was that? That housing?
2021.
Yeah.
Also, it was fairly new.
All right. Call meeting to order at 3:30, special meeting. Roll call.
Anderson, absent. Ohio, absent. Lassie,
I think I'm here.
White,
Present.
Malovsky.
Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reason for special meeting, West Babbitt Development Project Bond. We have correspondence, we have the handout here, as well as a couple reviews, the testimony reviews to look at. So, we'll go ahead and do business.
Okay, I'll move we approve Mayor Lawson's attendance at the capital investment hearing with expenses.
Can I jump past something I wanted to bring up on the handout real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think something valuable to add in this back on here, where you talk about North Shore Mining, is that
Are you, which where are you at?
I'm on 6B, the last page of the handout.
Okay, so Roger's introduction.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if we can change that, we could definitely.
Well, just something to let him know
Yeah,
about,
no, we can, he might be able to, this is early enough, I'm trying to get it changed.
because I know for a fact, New Range Copper Nickel, which has just been a joint venture that just cleared on the 15th in February. I know 14 people personally that have been contacting the local realtors trying to find
Sure.
places to live. And I think that's a big thing. We are really hurting for housing for this project. There's gonna be probably a need for about 60 to 80 homes in the area in the next 2 years.
That should be
And
taken
that
up
should be on-
new business
Okay.
C, rather than during my motion at this time. The motion is just to approve the attendance, then we'll review, and then we'll vote on proposed changes. So I'll back at that time.
Oh, I should see that.
So, the motion by, Mr. Lassie, do you have a second?
5 seconds.
Motion by Mr. White to approve mayor's attendance at the capital investment hearing. Roll call.
Anderson, absent. Hoheisel, absent. Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Malovsky.
Bond testimony review. So, I guess, you know, I wanted, did you get a handout, Tony? Did you get anything? I'd like to share with you also. Yeah, you grab this one. You don't have, oh yeah, there you go. Just so you got the original, and you can see some of the stuff we took out, some of the stuff we added. Let me see. So 6B back there would be the original one that you guys worked up. And then the last page is, we're going to describe this introduction. So, where do we start here?
One of the things that changes, so that Joe was
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
alluding to.
Sure.
And there are others.
And I don't know if there's a place you can add that then in your part of it,
Well,
or,
so there's a spot in the, what I'm calling revision number 3, and that's the one that was laying here. That's this one that doesn't have a 6B on it, that's one that is just laying loosely. Now, it doesn't refer to any named, all it says is proposed future mines, but it does say, it does talk about it. You can ask Roger. The thing is we have to cut this down so far. Talking to Jeff Anderson, who is a lobbyist with SCH down there. I sent him my first revision, and he got back to me and said it really needs to be 2 to 3 minutes long. So I had to cut a lot of stuff out of it in order to talk about some of the other stuff that was more pertinent information. Now, so we don't mention twin metals, polymet, or anything. We said there are future mines. I think what we were, Roger, listen, you know, he refers to us as a true mining town, and I think we went more towards a focus of how this is hurting us immediately with the existing small businesses that can't even find employers because of the housing crunch. But obviously, and then in here, farther as we get farther, it does say that, you know, this, if this expansion can go on, we will be able to service the type G3 future expansion for like the mines and stuff, so.
I'm fine with that, I just wanted to bring that up, and I understand these
And I know
things.
Roger
Fine.
knows that too, but our whole, his introduction and what I'm going to say is gotta take up like 4 minutes. And it's really tight.
The shorter and sweeter you are,
Yeah.
the more to the point, and they'll appreciate that.
So I think the first one had a lot of good information in it. After reviewing it and then sharing with you a few people, or a couple people that I thought had a lot of experience with this and are feeling this crunch and stuff, there was more information that I thought, because I took their information and then I worked on this. I worked on it a lot until we came here this afternoon.
It's not easy, is it?
No, and that's okay. What you kind of get obsessed with, you know, we took out a lot of little words that didn't mean nothing, which I probably wrote it exactly the same way the first time myself, you know, it was just about the verbiage and stuff. But we were able to get into more stuff about the real estate market here, and how it's suffering, and some facts and stuff about that. So this is the revised edition of that. I mean, I'd like everybody to read that, and if there's any other input, we could sure look at that. I'm not saying it's perfect, because it's not, but I tried to take a lot of what the first, Tony and Kathy did, because they hit on some real crucial points, and then some of the stuff that I had input from others, we tried to work that in there also. So, and I'm going to read this to you guys, and I'm going to have you use a stopwatch to see where we end up. I've read it at home by myself a few times, but I think that would be a way for you to hear how it sounds, and if there's any thing that we should change or whatever, we can do that, so.
You're ready.
Huh? Yeah, and like I say, this is gonna be on top of Roger's introduction. So, I haven't read it for a couple hours, so I'm a little rusty. But all right, here we go. Chair Lee Erdahl, members of the House Capital Investment Committee. My name is Dwayne Lawson, Mayor of the City of Babbitt. Thank you, Representative Scrava, for introducing this bill. On behalf of the city, I am here asking for $2 million in state funds to help our community extend municipal infrastructure to a new housing development. We started this process back in 2016 when we noticed a demand for expansion of residential lots and other types of housing needs. The first phase is shovel-ready project and is estimated to cost $4 million for infrastructure. The city of Babbitt is requesting $2 million in state bonding, with the remaining $2 million coming from local government resources. Here are some key reasons why we need this. The West Babbitt expansion has 18 residential lots, an 8-acre multi-housing lot available. These were all identified as key needs for our town and surrounding areas, along with information from local realtors as to where and what buyers are purchasing. People are buying in other markets, even though they would prefer to live in the Babbitt area. A lack of housing opportunities such as these is creating a shortage of employees in our area. The latest home to be built in Babbitt was in 2009. Homes in that division are the newest in town. 50% of the homes in that division have been resold 1 to 3 times over, more than any other division in town. Further proof of the need for newer homes. Proposed future mines are only a small percentage of the actual need for new housing. There are a multitude of other companies who have employees needing and wanting housing in Babbitt. There is an elderly market who wants to downsize from either multi-level or lake homes to one-level maintenance-free homes. Freeing up these properties affords opportunities for first-time buyers and those wishing to purchase lake homes. Local businesses are estimated to be short about 125 plus employees. This does not include shortages for North Shore Mine, local DNR, government positions, Northeast Range K-12 school, or Ely Bloomington Hospital and nursing homes. We are accustomed to having 5% of our homes for sale at any given time. Currently, we have less than 7 homes on the market and even fewer lots. A new housing development will increase the population and have a positive effect on our community. Increasing the population will increase our tax base, school base, and employer workers base. Like so many communities around the state, the city of Babbitt needs a workforce and family housing. We based our expansion efforts on a 2021 housing demand assessment prepared by Viewpoint Consulting Group. That reaffirmed our decision to start the project. There is an increased demand for new construction and expansion. Our current infrastructure does not allow for expansion. Any new areas that could be developed would require a lift station for the sewer system. This phase of the project includes new streets with oversized and appealing residential lots, an 8-acre multiple unit housing section with all infrastructure and utilities provided. This will help fill the demand for new community growth and assist in future expansion by providing the necessary lift station that will service the other phases. This first phase lays out the groundwork for the entire West Babbitt development area, allowing for future expansions to provide 100 plus acres of residential lots and neighborhoods for the city of Babbitt. Mr. Chair and members, I appreciate your time and consideration, and I am happy to stand for any questions.
325.
I'm concerned it's pretty long.
How was it?
I lost you about halfway through. I felt like it was too long.
Yeah, I felt a little bit that you had to race through a lot and should have spots at the end of the sentence to pause for a little bit rather than run right into the next. So it could be short.
Well, then let's start butchering it up. I mean, what can we see in there that we think is not pertinent?
So you double tapped the,
The end thing with all the 8 acre.
no, well, I mean that too, but the housing demand assessment, you hit that twice in this thing.
Okay, hold on, where I gotta find that, Tony. I know that, without me reading the whole thing, and just if you could find it, help us out. Because I can go home and adjust this before I get the car and head for the city.
And so not word for word, but you almost hit it 3 times. So
Start at the first one there.
So right away in this first larger paragraph, we started this process back in 2016 when we noticed a demand for expansion of residential lots. That's fine, but you talk about the demand for lots like too many times. Let's see, where does it come up again? So it comes up again farther in the back. I think you're way too detailed on the Viewpoint Consulting Group doing the demand assessment.
Well, that came from Jason Troutman, that's why I threw that in there. I guess he thought it was important, so I threw it in there. I don't know. But we can go with what we think too if we have a.
I think if you lose some of these titles and
Well, that's what-
fancy words of where this,
Originally, I got a whole, you wouldn't believe how much stuff was taken out to begin with, just in order to add some of the important information.
Well, I think you could actually get rid of, in the first dot on the bottom, you could get rid of everything after employees.
About,
You could just
about the
state,
shortage of
just state
employees.
local businesses are estimated to be short of about 125 plus employees, and then get rid of the rest of the paragraph. That would
This
save-
does not include shortages for all these other.
I get that, but they already are aware with the rest of what you said that. we
or
have
just say,
shortages also.
or just say
Well,
there's
we
short
could
enough.
get rid of all of it because it, in other places, it talks about, right up on the west, the one that starts with West Babbitt expansion, the last sentence, the lack of housing opportunities such as these is creating a shortage of employees in the area.
Okay,
So we could,
yeah.
should we get rid of that
Yeah.
whole dot right there? Everybody agree
Yeah,
on
I
that,
think so.
Jim?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think we need that.
Okay, we can get rid of that, because we do, that is redundant, lack of housing opportunities such as these is creating a shortage of employees in our area. So, it doesn't tell what kind of shortage, but I think everybody knows across the state, because everybody's dealing with the same thing, so, okay, we'll take that out of there.
Okay,
Okay,
then-
let's
then
go back to what you were talking about.
let's look at paragraph 3. The West Babbitt expansion has 8 residential lots and 8-acre multi-housing unit lot.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in your last paragraph,
Yep.
again, you hit 8-acre multiple unit.
Oh, I missed that completely, because I added that, that was one of the last things I added, is another, where was it? This phase project includes streets and oversized lots. So, we'll leave in there, this phase of the project includes new streets and oversized appealing, oh. This phase of the project includes new streets with oversized and appealing residential lots, comma, with all infrastructure and utilities provided. Get rid of the 8-acre multiple unit housing section. What we're talking about? Everybody on board with that?
Yeah.
Tony?
What paragraph are you in?
We're at the biggest, the last paragraph of the second
Because he
page.
talks about it
Right
right
here.
here first. He just gonna line up the details.
Just the-
This phase of the project
You can have types of farm rights.
Say new streets and appealing residential lots and 8-acre multiple housing section.
Then he's gonna get rid of that 8-acre multi.
Yeah, we've got that listed on, paragraph, be like the third big paragraph on the first, it starts out with the West Babbitt expansion has 18 residential lots and an 8-acre multi-housing lot available.
So to read with oversized.
So, yeah,
residential
it's
lots
funny 'cause
with
that was-
all infrastructure.
One of those was the last thing that I added, so I guess I was getting kind of tired here. So we'll take that out, an 8-acre multiple unit housing section. This phase of the project includes new streets. How about if we end it right there? This phase of the project includes new streets, and then take everything out until you get with all infrastructure and utilities provided.
That'll work. So the other portion here, yeah, you're doing fine. Mark that.
Hold it, now I gotta go back to it. This phase of the project includes new streets.
You know, let's go new streets, residential lots, multi-housing.
we're gonna get rid of all that. We're gonna go, this phase of the project includes new streets, and I don't think we even need a comma there. We won't have that comma there. It'll be new streets with all infrastructure and utilities provided.
Yeah.
So we're getting rid of with oversized and appealing residential lots and 8-acre multiple unit housing section. Comma. And then where were you next on?
I think you went too deep into your elderly market. I think you can shave a whole bunch of that.
Give us a paragraph, we get right to it.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one, well, it's the last paragraph on the front page, just above your dot.
Starting the proposed future.
Oh, where it says, the whole thing about, yeah, that came from the realtors, and yeah, it's just basically saying, and it's probably not necessary, that if you free some up, you're gonna,
No, and I think you should have that in there. I think it just went on and on and on, talking about downsizing from this or that, and then we're gonna move these people into this so that we can free up this and that. You hit it twice.
Just drop that last sentence. Freeing up these
Yeah,
properties.
don't talk about how freeing these other homes up are gonna, take some pressure off.
And that way you made the point that the elderly people do need multiple housing units because they can't stay in their own homes.
Because as soon as you went back across for those wishing to purchase lake homes, you killed me right there. I'm like, that's a terrible pitch. You hit.
I don't particularly care for the proposed future mines are only a small percentage of the actual need. But at this time right now, because we're trying to make this a right now thing, we don't want them to think that this is all about future mines because that's still up in the air whether those future mines are gonna be here.
Which is why I tried
So
to
we
snuff
wanna
that
show-
out.
We want to show urgency about the situation we have today.
That's why I tried to kill that in the one that I wrote.
Huh?
That's why I tried to kill that in the one that I wrote.
Yeah.
Not that proposed future mines aren't important.
No, but the
I-
focus right now is we want this right now so we can get going rather than mining companies going on.
Yeah,
Well, they're covered in the multiple other companies anyway. You don't really say much about it. You get rid of that whole first line, get rid of proposed, all the housing, and then start
We could
the
get,
paragraph with there's a multitude of other companies that employ needing and wanting housing and that. And there's an elderly market who wants downsizing, who wants blah, blah, blah.
yeah, we could use that.
So just get rid of that proposed future. You
I
don't
can-
even
I can
need
do
that.
that.
Just strike that first.
yeah.
Okay,
So instead of,
It's already assumed anyway, they know what's happening.
right,
so there are a multitude of companies, not other.
Yeah, right.
Companies who have employees needing and wanting housing bad. There's an elderly market who wants to downsize from either multi-level or lake homes.
So cut all that out. There's an elderly market who wants to downsize to maintenance-free homes. There is an elderly market that wants to downsize to maintenance-free homes. You cover it all right there.
Downsize to maintenance-free homes.
Yeah.
TO2. And then get rid of the whole last sentence. Bring up these
Yeah.
properties.
Absolutely.
Everybody on the.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did you say that took? I'm sorry.
225.
3:25? Yeah. This will allow me not to rush and still come in at 3 minutes. I mean, I think we can come in at 3 minutes and we'll be fine. But this will take some of the pressure off of it.
Paragraph that starts the latest home to be built, how much of that do you need it to have the 50% homes in the division have been resold 1 to 3 times over? Is that Is
Well,
that something of?
I guess the whole thing about that is the last sentence, further proof of the need for newer homes, you know, that people that are living in the, a lot of people that want to upgrade, according to the realtors.
Or what now?
People that want newer stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at that. The latest home you could own that was 2009. There was a whole thing in here about Healy's situation also. That the amount of housing that's available in Healy because they're in Jack there, you know, but it's just, you know, if you could make this thing 4 pages long, you could definitely tell a better story, but you can't. Because I think the importance of that, I'm not saying we shouldn't cut it or whatever, but if the idea behind that paragraph right there is we're gonna have new lots. And we want people to build new houses on those lots and showing that the newest houses in town are selling at a rate much higher than the average Babbitt. But we just got rid of them quite a bit. I mean, I'd be comfortable with what we did right there, unless, you know, we keep talking more. I'm sure.
I'm not real big on that whole thing
Yeah.
at all. I mean, I get where you're going with it, but
Well, I think if we had people here that were looking from a different scope than we are, if they would be able to sell that to us a little bit harder than we see it, I think it's pertinent information. I think we've gotten rid of a lot of information that isn't nearly as pertinent as that is.
Well, I think with the presentation, with the handout, with the, you know, map showing where our homes are gonna be and so on, I think that's brief and to the point.
One of the things about that, and I'm not like super trying to defend it, but why it makes some sense to me is the last home we built in Babbitt was in 2009, and that's because we don't have any nice lots to build real homes left.
no, I agree completely with that line. I think it just drags on when you keep talking about that. I agree fully and wholly that the latest home in Babbitt was built in 2009. We only have, so also in what you say here, we only have two buildable lots for sale.
Right, and they're not really desirable lots.
No. And we have 2 other lots that are almost not buildable that are for sale.
The ones in the pond.
In the swamp, yeah. So I think, you know, the latest home to be built in Babbitt in 2009, we currently only have 2 lots that are 2 buildable lots for sale.
Did that stay in here?
No, it didn't. You don't have the
Well, it
lot.
just says, yeah, it says less than 7 homes on the market and even fewer lots.
Right.
You go into the paragraph with the 18 residential lots. That says they were all identified as key needs for the town and surrounding areas. Talking about that, if we care about anything outside.
We could end that as just, or we could say these were all identified as key needs.
For the town.
for our community.
Yeah.
Call it community instead of two different things.
We need to have the thing about the real, along with information
Yeah.
and realtors, that's not pertinent either. What's pertinent is people are buying in other markets,
What other markets are they buying?
wherever they can find
It's
something.
not Aurora, it's not White Lakes, it's not Embarrass, where are they buying?
Well,
That's my point, right?
Yeah.
I don't need it in there because the markets are buying and they're so far away from us.
but here's what, like, we go back to what Jim said, so we're gonna go to, these were all identified as key needs for our community.
For our community.
Period. Then we're gonna get rid of, along with information from local realtors as to where and what buyers are purchasing. We'll get rid of all that, right?
Yeah,
Everybody
just
agree with
end
that?
up, just end with the lack of housing opportunities such as needs to be created.
Yeah.
For employees in the area.
I'm with Joe. Get rid of the people are buying, that whole thing too. Move straight into a lack of housing opportunities.
I wouldn't care about this.
Jim, you with that?
Yeah, I think we should get rid of it.
I mean, I'm good with it. I'm
We want
everybody
the
on the same page.
focus to be Babbitt.
So we're getting rid of everything, so this paragraph's gonna read this. West Babbitt expansion has 18 residential lots and an 8-acre multi-housing lot available. These were all identified as key needs for our community. The lack of housing opportunities such as these is creating a shortage of employees in the area.
I would knock out such as these and just say a lack of housing opportunities is creating a shortage of
There
employees.
you go, yeah.
You've already knocked out some of those. Housing opportunities creating a shortage of employees.
Having housing opportunities is creating a shortage of employees in the area.
Use workforce or something.
It's say coming from local governmental resources. And I wasn't sure, I thought government sounded better, but should it say governmental resources? Is it governmental or is it government resources? I kept saying it over and over and I came up with it's something better with government, I don't know, to me.
For where?
You could.
The first one said governmental, and
Second
when I read
paragraph.
it, it just didn't, it seemed kind of, so I put government, but what do you guys think?
Not government, no, just say local resources, that would include IRRB. Which you
Yeah.
don't want to mention.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to think we're giving too much government money already.
Yeah.
That's good, anyway, yeah.
I would honestly strike that last sentence there too. Here are some key reasons why we need this. I don't think you need to
Yeah, because we're already given reasons.
I don't think you have to introduce the rest of your article presentation in that fashion.
Yeah, I would strike that. We're gonna get you down to about a minute, 30 seconds here.
You're gonna be able to slow down and say,
Maybe we'll bring a sandwich
excuse
up
me,
there.
and I have a couple sips of coffee and go, okay, and also I would like to just add.
This is exactly the same stuff that I've been spending hours on, that over and got rid of it.
You have 50
And tried
years
to
of
fix some of the
experience
other
right
pertinent
there.
information, so it's just it's a real, more eyes are always better, you know?
And then at the very end, when you're all done, it's customary, you fall down on your knees and go, please, please give us some money.
Well, I was thinking about, I got a nice dress shirt and some dress pants. and then I got a big pair of red suspenders. I mean, we need to be memorable. Huh? Thought about just putting them on for the, when I met in the Chicago, when I took my coat off, and like. Okay, here's something that's a little bit redundant. Go back to the second page on the paragraph that says, like so many communities around the state, City of Daphne's workforce and family housing. We based our expansion efforts on the 2021 housing demand assessment prepared by Viewpoint Consulting Group. Part that says, that reaffirmed our decision to start the project.
I was just looking at that, take
Yeah,
that whole thing
Because
out.
you just said that, we based our expansion on, efforts on, and then we turned around and said, that reaffirmed our decision to start the project.
Correct.
I think the reason Jason wanted, when he sent me that, if they wanna look up who did the
Well, Jason,
assessment or whatever, we got the information.
Jason's gonna send you as much information as he can. It's up to you to decide what we need of it.
Well, I think, instead of just saying that, cause what it said was, in a new housing assessment, and actually listing the name of some, credible company, like, I'd take anything else off of all that stuff he said, because it was too vast, and there's a lot of it didn't really pertain, well, it was the whole assessment is what it was.
Why would that paragraph be way back there? I mean, it definitely be modified a little bit, but why wouldn't that be like
Something that you won't put
right at the
in.
beginning, right, before you start getting into the West Side Ave expansion?
I agree.
Residential lots, that should be first, because that's why we are looking at our West Side Ave. I would maybe move that paragraph, once it's adjusted, if we're gonna get rid of some of the wording, whatever, but because that sums up why we have a West Side expansion project, in my opinion. That should be like the,
I'm totally with
like
you.
on on the behalf of our city, types of housing needs, maybe that should be in there, and then jump into the first phase of a shovel-ready project, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know, I don't do a lot of these, but it just seems to me in reading this, that's like, okay, this is why we have the West Side expansion right here, it's explaining that. And then, based on this is our plan of action, is what the rest of it is going to be.
So you're saying it would fit in between the paragraph that starts with the first phase of shovel ready and the next paragraph that says the West Ave expansion has, fit in between those two?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
cut it out and then I would put it in before the paragraph of the first phase of shovel ready project. I'd go right there and
You put it
then
before
you're,
the first, before the first?
I would read my name and then on behalf of our city, of housing needs, and then I'll jump right into that paragraph right there. Like so many communities around the state, the city of Babbitt needs a workforce and family housing. However, that paragraph, if you're gonna change it, whatever, with that paragraph, I think it should be right there. And then, so based on that, our first phase is a shovel-ready project that estimated at this, blah, blah, blah. This is why we're doing that. The West Side expansion is gonna provide us 18 residential lots and 8 acres of multi-housing lots availability, and then just go on down the rest of it.
Okay, so I'm with Joe. The paragraph though, like so many communities, we'll strike that sentence, that reaffirmed our decision to start this project. And then,
You're gonna strike like so many communities, right, around the state.
no, we'll keep all that. Just the sentence in the middle there, that reaffirmed our decision to start this project.
You got rid of that, right?
Yeah. Okay, but now let's move to the next paragraph, the last one that you have written here. I think most of it is redundant until you get to the last bit where it says this first phase is the groundwork. I really think the whole first half of that is redundant.
Yeah, because it does say that last part of that, which could be a paragraph on its own, this first phase lays the groundwork. Well, we just got done saying, the demand, the new community growth, assists future expansion by providing necessary lift station. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Have a lift station in there.
Right, you already talked about the lift station, so,
I know, but we have to say how it should be still be tied in with the 100 acres all, with the lift station.
no, I know, you wanna keep that whole bottom half of that paragraph, this first phase lays the groundwork. That sentence, that last sentence, you want that last sentence, but I think the whole first half of that paragraph, you don't need, it's redundant. When you said it,
Just say from where to where, Tony, are you talking? Are you talking-
this first phase of the project includes new streets all the way to, by providing necessary lift station that will service other phases. I think you're saying that in that last sentence. This first phase lays the groundwork for the entire West Babbitt development area, allowing for future expansions to provide 100+ acres.
I think that's a great end to the.
Yep.
Closing.
Yeah.
So I think that whole first half of that you can take out. When you were saying it, when I was listening to it, it sounded redundant.
I'm sorry.
So he's saying to take out everything, that whole paragraph would start with.
Right here, Mr. Mayor, I crossed it.
So we wouldn't mention how the lift station ties into the 100 acres is what I'm saying.
That's the part that would stay.
You totally would.
Wipe out the whole first one, and then the paragraph would read, this first phase lays the groundwork for the entire West Babbitt development area, allowing for future expansions to provide 100+ acres. Otherwise, there's some lots and you can do that. So that would be the whole paragraph. He's saying wipe out the whole top of it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I agree. The only pertinent information that seems to me is that says that this project can provide a necessary lift station that will allow the first phase, the groundwork for or lay the groundwork for the entire thing because of the lift station. Without the lift station, the groundwork is not laid.
Then put it in there. This first phase includes the lift station
And the groundwork.
that lays the groundwork.
Yeah, first phase including lift station.
Okay, there you go. This first phase,
Includes the lift station,
including lift station, lays the
includes,
groundwork, and they don't have to change the rest of it. Does it?
I think you want to use the word includes though, not including. Includes the lift station.
Well, then you have to change the rest of the sentence.
No. This first phase includes the lift station that lays the groundwork.
For the entire West Babbitt development area.
This paragraph. Just this. Yeah.
Have we said somewhere else that all the infrastructure and utilities are provided somewhere, or is that why this is redundant? Where did we say that? Because if we do, I think we gotta keep some of that in there.
Well, look above, right, the paragraph you're keeping. It has a lift station in it already. Look right above the paragraph,
Yeah,
it just
I
talks
see
about
that,
getting rid of it, says, and any new areas that could be developed would require a lift station. for
Yes,
sewer system.
I see
So
that.
It's already covered in
But
this.
it's tying it into this 100 years.
Yeah, no, I would still keep the including the lift station in that last paragraph. that you said.
But
You're asking about
But
the,
I don't know that we have anything that's, let's see here.
You want the line with all the infrastructure and utilities
Well,
provided?
we probably should be mentioning that somewhere, that, you know, this project is including everything, you know.
Okay, then you gotta put it, paragraph 3, current paragraph 3. The West Babbitt expansion has 18 residential lots and an 8-acre multi-housing lot with all utilities included. Or somewhere in there.
And then 18 residential lots and 8-acre multi-housing lot, and will include all infrastructure and utilities. Well, isn't that, hold on.
I don't know.
You're talking about the line right here that says with all infrastructure and utility provided. Isn't that kind of what you're saying in the second paragraph? We want 2 million in state funds to help our community extend municipal infrastructure. Isn't that municipal infrastructure, the sewer and the water?
That's the way I read it, and everybody else reads infrastructure, water, sewer, lift stations, whatever else is included, blacktop streets, whatever.
Yeah, so I think that was already covered.
Because,
We don't need to get too detailed.
yeah, that's good. I know I took it out of there once already, but yeah, that does cover it.
What would this sound in the,
Municipal infrastructure, I mean,
I had some suggestions in that first paragraph on behalf of the city. I'd like to run this by him. I'm asking for 2 million state funds to help our community expand municipal infrastructure to new housing development. We started this process back in 2016 when we identified, instead of notice, we identified a demand for the development of single-family residential lots. And instead of saying other types of housing, we would specifically say and multi-housing facilities.
I like that.
Yeah.
okay, should have started with identifying
Yeah.
the demand instead of.
So right after in 20, we not noticed, we identified a demand for the development of single-family residential lots. That's what we're talking about. And instead of other types, we would say, and multi-housing facilities, which would be your townhouses, apartment buildings. But that would, the other types.
The development of
generic.
single-family residential lots?
I think we should mention it. It is.
I took it out of there, it did say it at one time.
Yeah, I think we
We
should.
said single-family, but isn't that what residential is?
Single,
That's
the
one
development of
house.
single
Residential,
family.
one house, because we list multiple in here also, but.
Duplex is still residential.
Huh?
Duplex is still residential. That's not what these lots are intended for.
So somewhere in here we got it messed up because we say residential, multifamily, you know, we list them like they're separate. So we put single, you're gonna have to backtrack and get you, so I get that.
You have an R2, which is your single family residential, you have R3 and R4, which are multiple families, so on this.
Single
you notice-
family residential.
Yeah, single family residential lots, and strike other types of housing needs and say, and multiple housing facilities, which would include your R3 and R4. Condos.
Multiple housing facilities.
Yeah. Or units, whichever would sound better. Maybe units would be better. But anyhow, I think you should mention it's all single-family residential.
Okay, we gotta go back to, I think I didn't finish something. Go to the last paragraph now, I got it. We got rid of the phase of the project, includes new streets with oversized appealing residential lots and 8-acre multiple unit housings with all infrastructure and utilities provided. We got rid of all that.
Yeah.
And then did we get rid of this will help fill the demand for new community growth and assist in future
Yeah.
expansion?
Yes,
All the way up to,
phase.
First phase.
Huh?
This first phase is the only sentence in there.
We said.
this first phase lays the groundwork for,
No, if after phase, we put includes the lift station and then continue on place.
includes lift station and, what'd you say, Joe?
The rest of the sentence, that's really.
Includes, this first phase includes lift station and lays the groundwork for the entire west end. Did I send you this in a PDF?
And the only other thing Dwayne we talked about was the paragraph right above that. We're gonna move it from where it's
Yeah,
at.
I put number 1, that's gonna be the first paragraph
Okay.
after.
Good, I think you're much closer now.
We won't be pressured to make the 3-minute mark, and I think you say everything that you originally wrote and what we read. I don't think we lost any information.
I don't either. I think we condensed it, and when it's condensed, it makes more sense. It's to the point.
Oh, you don't have to rush to it.
Yeah.
Well, and it keeps your listeners engaged.
Like, damn, this mayor's good. Come represent us. Prove.
What'd you say, Tony?
It keeps your listeners engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
We could do the same thing with Roger's introduction here. When you go on, because we, nothing we can do about it, but yeah, it's, that's good.
Tell my buddy Roger not to screw this up.
No, I gotta find someone that can do all this work. Yeah, boy.
It wouldn't take us long to.
Huh?
It wouldn't take you long to read it.
I know, but you're off work in like 10 minutes. I'm hoping to leave for the cities tonight.
Yeah, we can email it to you. You can put it on there.
I'm hoping to, I'm gonna try to leave tonight. But if you guys got it. You got all the notes, you did all, you get all your, you can probably read your handwriting.
I go in there right now. Within,
Would you just retype it or what?
they have this PDF, you can just tweak it. I can do delete. Yeah.
get going on it. You'll be done in 2 minutes.
I don't know if it's PDF though, that's the thing.
No, what do I find it?
I'll move to adjourn, we can get out of here.
Yeah, my second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good job, Mayor, I like it.
Good luck down there. Yeah, thank you.